Should you sell your Austin home right now? If you're a homeowner in Austin and you've been thinking about selling, one of the biggest questions right now is this: what is actually happening in the market? Are prices still falling? Are buyers still active? And most importantly, is now a good time to sell? I'm William Zhang, an Austin realtor, and I specialize in helping homeowners position and market their homes to sell successfully in today's market. My team and I work with sellers across the Austin metro, from central Austin to the fast-growing suburbs, helping them price strategically, attract serious buyers, and maximize their sale price. In this video, I'm going to break down the January 2026 housing market numbers for the city of Austin and Hays County, including pricing trends, inventory levels, buyer activity, and even what's happening in the rental market. Because if you're thinking about selling your home this year, understanding these numbers can help you decide when to list and how to position your home for the best outcome. Let's start with the city of Austin market. Looking at the January 2026 market snapshot for the city of Austin, which includes single-family homes, condos, and townhomes, the market is clearly moving into a more balanced phase. The median sales price in Austin is currently $522,500, which is down about 5% compared to last year. Now, that doesn't mean the market is crashing. What it really shows is a normalization from the peak of the market we saw during the pandemic years. In terms of activity, 509 homes closed in January, which is down 8.8% year over year. Because of that, the total sales dollar volume came in at about $369 million, which is down 9.4% compared to last year. Now, one of the most important numbers for sellers is inventory, because that tells us how much competition you have when listing your home. Right now, Austin is sitting at 3.9 months of inventory, which is down about 2 months compared to last year. That actually means supply tightened, which is important for sellers. Looking at listings, 1,169 new homes came on the market, which is down 12% compared to last year, while active listings are currently around 3,262 homes, which is essentially flat. But here's a number sellers should really pay attention to. Pending sales are up 9.3%, with 797 homes currently under contract. That means buyers are still actively writing offers. Another sign of activity returning is the average days on market, which is 82 days, and that's 5 days faster than last year. Homes are also closing at about 90.8% of list price compared to 91.3% last year, which shows that buyers still negotiate, but homes that are priced correctly are still selling. And by the way, if you're a homeowner in the Austin area and you're thinking about selling your home this year, this is exactly what my team and I help with. We help sellers analyze the market, price strategically, and position their homes to attract serious buyers in today's market. If you'd like to talk through your options, you can call, text, or email me anytime, and I'm happy to give you a quick idea of what your home could realistically sell for in today's market. You can also click the link in the description to request a free home value report and market strategy for your property. Sometimes a 10-minute conversation can make a big difference in deciding when and how to list your home. Now let's zoom out and look at City of Austin lease market. Now let's talk about the rental market, because this can also influence homeowners deciding whether to sell or hold onto their property as a rental. The median rent in Austin is currently $2,100, which is down about 4.5% compared to last year. There were 1,211 closed leases, which is down about 1.8%. And total lease dollar volume came in at $2.85 million, which is down 7.3%. But the big story in the rental market is supply. Rental inventory is currently 3.7 months, which is up 1.4 months compared to last year. There were also 1,852 new leases signed, which is up 24.4%. At the same time, active rental listings jumped to 4,016 homes, which is up 88.5%. Pending leases also increased 4.4% with 1,387 properties under contract. Homes are spending about 64 days on the rental market, which is 2 days longer than last year, and landlords are closing at about 95.4% of their asking rent, slightly higher than 95.1% last year. For some homeowners, These numbers can help decide whether selling or renting the property makes more sense. Looking at the January 2026 numbers for Hays County, which includes cities like Kyle and Buda, we're seeing similar trends, but at a lower price point than Austin. The median home price in Hays County is $344,500, which is down about 4% year over year. There were 234 closed sales, which is down 18.5%, and the total sales volume reached about $107 million, which is down 12.3%. Inventory in Hays County sits slightly higher than Austin at 4.4 months, which is down about 1.2 months compared to last year. There were 483 new listings, which is down 14.2%, and active listings total about 1,567 homes, down 1.3%. Just like Austin, pending sales are rising, with 347 homes currently under contract, which is up 9.1%. Homes are spending about 86 days on the market, which is 3 days faster than last year, and homes are closing at about 92% of their list price, the same as January 2025. The rental market in Hays County shows a similar pattern. The median rent is about $1,937, which is essentially flat compared to last year. There were 172 closed leases, which is down 14.4%, and lease dollar volume reached $363,000, down 16.7%. Rental inventory increased significantly to 3.3 months, which is up 3.3 months year over year. There were 221 new leases, down 16.3%, while active rental listings increased to 513 homes, up 10.3%. Pending leases rose 8.4%, with 219 homes under contract. Rental homes are spending about 67 days on the market, 3 days longer than last year, and the average close-to-rent price is 94.5%, the same as January 2025. So when you look at the full picture across Austin and Hays County, the market is clearly shifting into a more balanced environment. Prices have adjusted slightly from the peak, inventory is stabilizing, and pending sales are increasing, which shows that buyers are still active and looking for homes. For homeowners thinking about selling, the key is pricing and positioning your home correctly in this market. Homes that are well priced and marketed strategically are still attracting strong buyer interest. If you're thinking about selling your home in Austin or the surrounding suburbs, feel free to call, text, or email me anytime, and I'd be happy to talk through your situation and what your home might be worth in today's market. You can also click the link in the description to request a free home value analysis for your property. Travis County sales. Let's start with Travis County. The median sales price in January came in at $445,000, which is down 6.3% year over year. There were 684 closed sales, down 12.4% compared to last year. Total sales dollar volume reached $450 million, which is also down 12.4% year over year. Inventory currently sits at 3.9 months, which is down 2.0 months compared to last year. There were 1,624 new listings, down 9.6% year over year. Active listings came in at 4,462 homes, down 2.7%. At the same time, pending sales increased to 1,044, which is up 11.1%. Homes are also taking a little longer to sell. The average days on market is now 87 days, up 1 day compared to last year. And the average close-to-list price ratio is 91.1% compared to 91.9% in January 2025. Travis County leases. Now let's look at the lease market in Travis County. The median rent in January was $2,100, which is down 4.2% year over year. There were 1,347 closed leases, down 5.6% compared to last year. Total lease dollar volume reached $3.19 million, which is down 9.5%. Lease inventory is now at 3.7 months, which is up 1.5 months compared to last year. There were 2,035 new leases listed, which is up 22.5% year over year. Active leases increased to 4,016, which is a 59% increase compared to last year. Pending leases came in at 1,544, up 1.4%. The average days on market for rentals is 63 days, which is no change compared to last year. And the average close to rent price ratio is 95.5% compared to 95.2% in January 2025. Williamson County sales. Now let's move over to Williamson County. The median sales price came in at $403,500, which is down less than 1% year over year. There were 536 closed sales, which is down 16.1% compared to last year. Total sales dollar volume reached $246 million, down 17.2% year over year. Inventory in Williamson County currently sits at 3.5 months, which is down 1.1 months compared to last year. There were 1,063 new listings, down 4.1% year over year. Active listings increased to 3,091 homes, which is up 5.6% compared to last year. Pending sales came in at 821, which is up 13.1%. Homes are taking longer to sell here as well. The average days on market is now 92 days, which is up 9 days compared to last year. And the average close to list price ratio is 91.1% compared to 92.9% in January 2025. Williamson County leases. Now let's look at the lease market in Williamson County. The median rent in January came in at $1,995, which is down 4.8% year over year. There were 678 closed leases, which is up 1.2% compared to last year. Total lease dollar volume reached $1.40 million, which is down 2.9% year over year. Lease inventory is currently at 3.0 months, which is up 0.9 months compared to last year. There were 867 new leases, which is down 2.8% year over year. Active leases increased to 1,726, which is up 32.2% compared to last year. Pending leases came in at 827, which is up 8.8%. The average days on market for rentals is now 65 days, which is up 3 days compared to last year. And the average close to rent price ratio is 95.5% compared to 95.7% in January 2025. Caldwell County. Home prices here are significantly lower. The median sales price in January 2026 in Caldwell County came in at $237,491. That represents a 17% decrease compared to January of last year. That's a pretty significant drop year over year, and it suggests that the market has adjusted considerably compared to where prices were previously. When you see a change like this, it can sometimes reflect a mix of factors, including different types of home selling, pricing adjustments by sellers, and overall shifts in demand. For buyers, this can create opportunities, especially if inventory continues increasing and sellers become more flexible with pricing. Now let's look at closed sales. There were 35 closed sales in Caldwell County in January 2026. That's actually up 6.1% compared to January 2025. So even though prices declined, the number of completed transactions actually increased slightly. This can sometimes happen when homes become more affordable or when buyers start taking advantage of softer pricing conditions. Sales dollar volume in January was $9.45 million. That represents a 1.1% increase compared to January of last year. Sales dollar volume simply measures the total value of all homes sold during the month. Even though the median price dropped significantly, the slight increase in overall dollar volume shows that more transactions helped offset some of that price decline. Now let's talk about one of the most important indicators in any housing market, and that's inventory. Months of inventory in Caldwell County in January was 8.4 months. That's up 3.5 months compared to January of last year. Months of inventory measures how long it would take for all current listings to sell if no new homes were added to the market. Generally speaking, around 5 to 6 months of inventory is considered a balanced market between buyers and sellers. So at 8.4 months, Caldwell County is currently sitting in what many people would consider a buyer-leaning market. If you're thinking about selling a home in the Austin area and want to understand where your home stands in today's market and what it may be worth, feel free to call, text, or email me. My contact details are in the description below. You can also use the link there to schedule a call or download my free home evaluation guide. Now, let's talk about supply entering the market. There were 75 new listings in Caldwell County in January. That's up 11.9% compared to January of last year. An increase in new listings typically means more choices for buyers and more competition among sellers. active listings increased dramatically. There were 252 active listings available in Caldwell County. That's up 70.3% compared to January 2025. Active listings represent the total number of homes currently available for buyers to purchase. When active listings increase this much, it often shifts negotiating power more toward buyers because they have more properties to choose from. Pending sales totaled 37 homes. That's up 8.8% compared to January of last year. Pending sales represent homes that went under contract during the month but have not closed yet. An increase here can sometimes indicate that future closed sales could remain stable in the near term. Now, let's look at how long homes are taking to sell. The average days on the market in January was 73 days. That's up 12 days compared to January of last year. When days on market increase, it usually means buyers are taking more time to evaluate their options, and sellers may need to adjust pricing or expectations. The average close-to-list price ratio in January was 84.8%. In January 2025, that number was 92.7%. This metric shows how close the final sale price was to the original asking price. A drop like this suggests that buyers are negotiating more aggressively or that sellers are adjusting prices to match current market conditions. Now let's shift over to the lease market in Caldwell County. The median rent in January 2026 came in at $1,750. That represents a 2.8% decrease compared to January of last year. So rents softened slightly compared to the previous year. There were 17 closed leases during the month. That's down 22.7% year over year. So fewer rental agreements were finalized compared to the same time last year. Lease dollar volume in January was $27.7 thousand. That's down 22.3% compared to January 2025. This metric measures the total value of rental agreements signed during the month. Months of inventory for leases came in at 4.3 months. That's up 4.3 months compared to last year. So the rental market now has significantly more supply available than it did a year ago. There were 27 new lease listings during the month. That's up 17.4% year over year. So more rental properties entered the market compared to last year. Active leases increased significantly. There were 81 active rental listings available. That's up 138.2% compared to January of last year. Thus, when rental inventory increases this much, tenants typically have more choices and sometimes more negotiating power. Pending leases totaled 24 properties. That's down 4% year over year. Pending leases represent rental properties that already have applications in process. The average days on market for rentals was 57 days. That's up 8 days compared to last year. So rental properties are taking slightly longer to lease than they were previously. Finally, the average close to rent price ratio was 98.2%. In January 2025, that number was 97.4%. This metric shows how close the final lease price was to the original asking rent. When you look at all of these numbers together, they paint a very interesting picture for Caldwell County. Home prices dropped significantly year over year, inventory increased sharply, and homes are selling further below list price. At the same time, both the sales and rental markets are seeing increased supply, which can create more options for buyers and renters. Understanding these numbers helps you make better decisions about timing, negotiation, and strategy in the market. And if you're planning to buy or relocate to the Austin area and want guidance on how these market trends might affect your situation, feel free to call, text, or email me. My contact information is in the description below, along with a link where you can download my Austin relocation guide. And if you want to understand what's happening in one of the fastest growing areas in the Austin metro right now, make sure you watch my next video, Why So Many Families Are Moving to Austin Right Now in 2026.